Hey guys, hello. Just come across this case, so I thought I'd share it with you because it's a really weird one, really odd. I've got very limited information about it. However, I've got a lot of people who follow my channel who are in Scotland, and this is another Scottish case, and it involves a river. So, yeah, and by the way, don't make me take this hoodie off. I know it's got ridiculous ears, but it's so warm. Once I put it on, I don't take it off, like literally forever. So if I look ridiculous, you can call me that if you want. I don't care. But let's just give it a minute. Oh yeah. Also, you might have seen Noodle. You might have seen my community post. I do have a video about the Adam Montgomery case uploaded to this channel right now. I've been doing short updates on the trial over on Michelle Walks that some of you might have seen, but I did a longer video today talking about Kayla Montgomery's testimony and whether she's telling the truth generally. But for whatever reason, I don't know why, YouTube have demonetized it. So I've put it on members only just for now. I get sick of them doing this. Like, you know, I don't mind if it's something genuine, but when there's absolutely no reason, zero reasons why they should demonetize it, then I request for a human review, and it can take days. All right. But as soon as it's reviewed, I'll make it available to everybody, but members can see it right now. Anyway, how are we all? Saturday afternoon here for me. This isn't going to be a long one because I've got Crime Story Sunday to record, doing Moore and Murray tomorrow. So I want to get the recording done today, and then I can do the editing and get it uploaded. So Moore and Murray has been missing for 20 years. It was actually 20 years yesterday that she went missing. So I wanted to do her episode as close to her 20-year missing mark as possible. So that's tomorrow. So it's a premiere recorded video, but there is a live chat over on Michelle Walks, 8 p.m. UK time, whatever that is in your local time. But this is David Fraser, and I've only just come across this case. So I was browsing Facebook and I follow the dive team Beneath the Surface, who actually live in my neck of the woods, live very close to me. And they've publicised this young man here, David Fraser. And they've just linked to the Missing People website. So he's been missing since the 7th of January of this year, age 35. And he went missing in Musselburgh in Scotland. So I went to have a look to see what had been posted about him. And I got this article here from the Scottish Sun, which gives a little bit of information. And like I said, I do have a lot of people who follow my channel from Scotland. So I think it's because I've done quite a few Scottish cases, actually. So I've got a lot of Scottish followers. So this is another Scottish case, but it's an odd one. Strange. Okay, so this is the story. He's believed to have bolted into freezing water after being spooked by a car's headlights. Like a car was flashing their lights at him. So he bolted, and he's apparently gone in the river. But apparently the CCTV footage. Now, the CCTV footage hasn't been released, or at least I can't find it if it has. But apparently the CCTV, at least of some of what went down. So this is just the write-up from the Scottish Sun. The missing dad is believed to have bolted into freezing water after being spooked by a car flashing its lights towards him. Daniel Fraser, 35, was spotted on CCTV in the early hours after leaving a function. So this is him, presumably at that function. Daniel had been at a party with pals, including Gangster, David Tower. So apparently he's a gangster. I don't know. It's just the whole story's odd. The whole story's weird. So he hasn't been seen since. We can now reveal footage viewed by cops caught his final moments in Musselburgh, East Lothian. A source said, after leaving the party, Danny was seen on camera by himself on the high street. And we'll get the map up in a minute. It shows a car waiting at traffic lights, flashing its headlights. Danny is then seen running away from it. He keeps going in the direction of Musselburgh Links Golf Course, and it's understood he then went over a wee fence with the River Esk immediately on the other side. So I don't know how much of this was actually caught on CCTV. It sounds like only him being like spooked. Like it shows a car waiting at traffic lights. Danny is then seen running away. I don't know whether the CCTV camera can then pick him up running all the way into the distance and bolting over a fence. It seems like he was spooked by the car and was worried someone was after him. He'd had a good drink and was probably feeling overly paranoid after someone from his local area was killed recently. It turns out the guys in the car were just flashing at the traffic lights to try to get them to change to green quicker. No, flashing your lights at a traffic light ain't going to make it go quicker. So whose story was this? Oh, this is just a source. So we don't even have a name for whose story this was. So Daniel is from Granton in Edinburgh. So it went missing during a severe cold snap when temperatures fell below freezing. The River Esk runs through Musselburgh before flowing into the Firth of Forth, where it meets the North Sea. A police helicopter has been spotted flying over the shoreline, but no trace of Daniel has been found. And this is very near the shoreline, very close to the shoreline. Musselburgh is on the coast. I've been to Musselburgh when I was a kid. We had a holiday in Musselburgh. I remember it quite well, like reasonably well. There's like a little harbour place, if I remember rightly. It's nice. It's nice. We told how he had been at the event with pals, including gangster David Tower, 38. The hood isn't suspected of any wrongdoing, and the police aren't treating Daniel's disappearance as suspicious. Chief Inspector Neil Wilson said it's been 4 weeks since Daniel was last seen. It's actually longer than that now. When was this article? This is the article. This is the 7th of February. This is the article that seems to have the most information. But I'm not saying that all of the information's true, because when it says a source, I'm always a little bit suspicious. Like if we can't even have a name, I'm a bit suspicious. But anyway, Chief Inspector Neil Wilson said it's been 4 weeks since Daniel was last seen. So it's now more like, well, over 4 weeks. And we are becoming increasingly concerned. It's completely out of character for him to not keep in contact with his family and friends. And it's a very upsetting time for them. Extensive searches and inquiries are continuing to trace him. And a team of local officers have been assisting with specialist resources, including the Force helicopter, search teams and police dogs, in our effort to find Daniel as soon as possible. I am appealing to anyone who was in the Musselburgh area, particularly near the old golf course building, to think back. Please get in touch if you think you may have seen anyone matching Daniel's description. In addition, if you have private CCTV or dashcam footage that could assist us to find where he went, then let us know. Any information, no matter how small, could help our inquiry. I urge anyone with information to contact 101, quoting incident 3723 of 11th of January. And you can see that's running across the bottom of the screen. So it seems that the police, maybe there's things they're not saying, but it seems the police are being a little bit more open-minded than the source, this unnamed source that the Scottish Sun has got. Because the Scottish Sun, with their unnamed source, who said that he leapt over a fence, so that's Daniel, that he leapt over a fence. Well, how does that source know that? How does that source know that unless that source was there? Or is it just an assumption? That's why I think this is a bit strange. The story's a bit weird. I mean, it could be true, but it's still weird. So this is the map. This is Musselburgh. So if we zoom out here, you can see how close. That's the coast. So that's the Firth of Forth. And then that there is the North Sea. So Musselburgh is right on the coast. I've lost Musselburgh now. Hold on. There we go. So it's only a small place, just south, well, kind of southeast of Edinburgh. Edinburgh is the capital of Scotland. So if you zoom out, it's just south of Edinburgh. So Daniel was from Edinburgh, but he was at a party in Musselburgh. Hello, Michelle. There have been missing cases for over 10 years in Sunderland. There's nothing on the news, nothing brought up, unless his daughter brings it up. Who's that? I don't know who that is. Maybe he had PTSD. Maybe. Don't know anything about his life, though. That's the thing. I mean, I'm not doubting, like, if he was seen running away, if a car was seen flashing their lights and he's seen running away and the police have that CCTV footage, then okay, he's seen running away. But how do we know why he's running away? We've only got this unnamed source who said he was spooked because someone had been killed in his area recently. So it spooked him. Now, it could be that he had anxiety, PTSD. Yeah, absolutely. Could be that. But what bugged me about reading this article was this source saying that he jumped over a fence because he was spooked by this car. If the cops have him on CCTV running away from a car flashing their lights, then that's what the cops are working with. But this source seems to have gone one step further by saying, well, he ran down by the golf course and then he jumped over a fence. How do we know he jumped over a fence? Is that on CCTV as well, is my question. Right, so here is the River Esk. So where's High Street? Hold on. It just says the High Street. It doesn't necessarily mean it's called High Street. So presumably that looks like a reasonably sized road. So that could be the High Street. But anyway, it ran up to the golf course, which is here. So this is the golf course. That's the old golf course. And apparently there's a building at the golf course. Well, there's a building. So let's go down to this street level. All right, so yeah, there's a fence, small fence. There's a weir. Okay, so how far can I get? Google. That's as close as I can get. But you can see that's the coast right there. See if I can get further up. But let me go back down. No, it won't. So it's very like silt build up and sand build up. So we've got outdoor services, Musselburgh Lagoon, whatever that is. Doesn't look much like a lagoon. That looks empty to me. Could have faked his own death. Why though? Like, his family say that this is all out of character. I mean, it's possible people do fake their own deaths. It's very rare. I mean, yeah, he could have. But how does this source know that he jumped over the fence? This is the thing that's bugging me. He left his home on 23rd of June 2014 in the blue Nissan Micra. The car was found by Stewart Street. Robert Hutchinson. Hold on. Let me just write that down. I'll do it on my phone. I'll do it on my thing. Hold on. 1 second. I'll look him up later. Robert Hutchinson. Sunderland. Thanks for that. I'll look him up later. Okay, so there's no fence there. Is there? Difficult to tell. So the road only goes up to here. So yeah, there is a fence further up. But you can see how close it is to the coast. I mean, not far at all. So you've got the weir there. Goose Green Weir. What's this? Can we go over there now? Come on, Google. Move. Why is the Google car not moving? I'm going to have a virtual drive around Musselburgh to see if I remember any streets from my childhood. It's exactly how I remember it, like narrow streets with like built out houses built out of stone. Stop it! Why are you doing that to me? Stop taking me places. I don't want to go. I've got to find my way back to the course now. think I've gone the wrong way. I have. I'm going out of town. Oh no, hold on. So it could have gone up this way. Oh, there's High Street, look. All right, it was on the wrong street. I thought maybe they just called it the High Street, but no, this is it's literally called High Street. All right, we're on the right track now. Good, my detour actually worked to my favour. So let's have a look. When was this? May 2023. I've not seen any lights. The name of the road's changed though. Right. Lost High Street now. So that's Mill something. So there's High Street. High Street, High Street, High Street. So then it changes its name. Right, so it's the same street, it just changes its name. Okay, good. So it goes up here. So where's these lights? I mean, I'm not doubting if the police have CCTV, but it's just this unnamed source. You haven't seen any lights either, no. Right, so Mill Ave, or whatever, Mal Ave becomes High Street. Right, so we'll go here. Oh, there we go. There's lights. Okay, so there is lights. So maybe he was around here. So this is Mal Ave, and then that becomes High Street. So that's a bridge that goes over the river. Okay. So we ran along here towards the golf course. There's more lights. So it could have been these lights. That's closer to the golf course. But still on High Street. So he runs all along here. Well, it's definitely not the same CCTV that saw him running away from the lights that picked him up jumping over a fence. So again, how does this source know he jumped over a fence near the golf course? Let's read the source's statement again. A source said, after leaving the party, Danny was seen on camera by himself on the High Street. It shows a car waiting at traffic lights, flashing its headlights. Danny is then seen running away from it. He keeps going in the direction of Musselborough Links golf course, and it's understood he then went over a wee fence with the River Esk immediately on the other side. It seems like he was spooked by the car and was worried someone was maybe after him. He'd had a good drink, probably feeling paranoid after someone from his local area was killed recently. Okay. So this is in the direction of the golf course. So at what point does this meet the river? It's a long way. Imagine that you're running on your own in the early hours of the morning. The car would have been long gone. C star. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Welcome to the Secret Agents Club. You can only flash your headlights to change temporary lights at roadworks because they are motion reactive to let the buildup of traffic through. Okay. But no, I didn't think you could change a light with just flashing your lights, but what's that? Is that like a race course? That's a horse race course, isn't it? Something. It is a long way. Oh yeah, race course. And then the golf course is there. Musselburgh Old Golf Club is there. So how's he gone from here? So he could have run all the way up there as I was going, or he would have had to turn down somewhere and then run over here. So the story doesn't make sense. The story does not make sense, I'm sorry. There has to be more to this. So he gets spooked, right? He gets spooked by lights. He runs towards the direction of the golf course. So this is the old golf course. This is the golf course that they're talking about, right? So he runs up here towards the golf course. So now he's at the golf course, but the river's all the way here. Or here. The river's all the way here. And then the coast is there. So how does he get? Unless, no, because he's running towards the golf course. Where did he start from? I don't know. He was at a party. So he's from Edinburgh, which is a little bit north of here. He was here in Musselburgh for a party. He left the party and he's walking on his own along High Street, which is this street here. So we know, according to this unnamed source, he's walking on his own along High Street. He gets spooked by car lights. So we have seen a couple of traffic lights. And then he runs in the direction of the golf course, which is here. And then he jumps over a fence where the river is immediately on the other side. But if he's running up High Street towards the golf course, he's running away from the river. So how does he get from running in the direction of the golf course to falling in a river by jumping over a fence? And so how would they know? How would they know? They wouldn't know. Because if he's seen on CCTV at the lights and he's seen running away, then in the direction of the golf course has to be this direction, so heading north. But then he cannot jump over a fence into the river without either doubling back on himself or going down one of these roads. If he goes down one of these roads and then jumps over, yeah, I can get it, because there is a fence. That is true. There is a fence all the way along. But he would have had to have either double back on himself or run down a street towards the river to then get to the river to jump over the fence. So there's something missing from the story. Because, Mall Ave, which becomes High Street, is right next to the river. So it could be possible that he doesn't run to the golf course. He's actually just running north. And the golf course is just confused me. But even so, if he's on High Street at any point, he's going away from the river. And there's houses in the way. There's houses in the way all along. So Mall Ave on Mall Ave, there's no houses. But there's no fence by the looks of things. So there's no fence. And then you get to these traffic lights, and at these lights, then Mall Ave becomes High Street. Go away. Okay, so instead of going on to High Street, he could have jumped over the fence here and jumped into the river. Could have done that. But then the stuff about the golf course is just irrelevant because he's nowhere near the golf course. So he either has to jump over the fence around here, so it's just High Street, because if he runs any further, and that would make sense, right? If he's at these lights, he gets spooked, he runs and he hops over this fence, then yeah, he's straight in the river. So it had to be either around here, or he had to take a long road up to the golf course and then go west and then jump in the river. I mean, even this, I forgot here. How's it let me go here? How's the Google car got me here? So even this here, you're not directly onto the river. Unless you're on the bridge. If you're on the bridge, then you're over. But if you're on High Street here and you jump this fence, the river's not immediately behind at the bottom. You've got to keep running. Which it could be. It could have just kept running and running to the river. But you'd have to be absolutely blind, paralytically drunk to jump the fence and get in the river. Christina, member for 16 months, so many water deaths. I know. I know. But I say again, how does the source know that that's what happened? It could have been on High Street and gone on to Esk side east. What's Esk side east? Where's that? I don't know where that's at, but like I said, if he's on High Street and he's going towards the golf course, he's going away from the river. So he has to either jump here at this bridge where there's a small fence, well, there's a wall, or he has to cut down one of these roads to get back to the river. So the further he goes away from High Street and the closer he gets to the golf course, which is here, the less and less chance he has to get in the river. So it's a very confusing story. Very confusing. Another source there. Are they not CCTV operator? Esk side east is a walking path, but has been travelled by the Google car. Looks like there are cameras. All right. Is that it? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, so thank you, Christina, for the $9.99. Thanks for keeping me company. Right, okay, so this makes sense. So he's on High Street. Let's imagine a scenario. He's at the lights. He runs. He jumps down here. This is Estelle side east. So the Google car's been down here. So he runs down here. Keeps running down here. But then why does he jump in the river? Because the car won't be following him now. So if he was at the lights at High Street and he ran, he jumped over a fence, he runs down here, surely he would realise that the car's no longer following him because the car can't get down here. The car can't jump the fence. So he'd have to be absolutely blind, paralytically drunk, which I guess is possible. And there's no fence here. So he could have jumped the fence up here. Could have jumped the fence up here. And instead of running along here, he could have run this way and run into the river. And with it being so cold, he immediately goes into shock and he can't get himself out. Which is what happened to Nicola Bulley, but it's so tragic if that's true. And I will say yet again, how does that person, the source who spoke to the Scottish Sun, know he jumped a fence and then immediately went in the river? I guess there could have been in that car. There could have been a person who was in that car and actually saw what he did. That's a good idea. You think the party was here, the old golf course reception building? If it was at the golf course, which is there, then why was he on High Street walking towards the golf course? I think the reason why I'm confused is because there's so few details available. And Police Scotland don't even have any information about him. Like Police Scotland have, let me just find it. It's in Police Scotland. Police Scotland have this really good website of all their missing persons. And I couldn't find him on here because they have good write-ups. And I like to start any case with what the police have said. You know, I want to start there. So I've done him, Finn, done James, done quite a few of these. That's why I've got like people who follow me now from Scotland, because I've done quite a few Scottish cases. Done her. She's English, but she went missing in Scotland. Neil, who Beneath the Surface have been to find. So he's not on. And he's been missing a month, so maybe I've done him. So I don't know why they've not put him on Police Scotland. I find that interesting as well. Maybe they're just behind and they've just not. They've just not had time. What's that? A newspaper has published that Daniel was also wanted in connection with a recent murder probe. As yet, there has been no confirmation on this from the police in their appeals. Really? Hold on. Really? Well, isn't that interesting? Daniel Fraser. I mean, it's interesting that at the party that he was at, he was photographed with the Gangster. Do you know what paper it was in? See, this tells a different story. This is the East Lothian Courier. Seen at 1:35 a.m, January 7th, outside the old golf course reception building. So that's completely different than he was on the high street going towards the golf course and he jumped over a fence and went into the river. That's a completely different story. When was this? 22nd of January. Right. Extensive inquiries, police helicopter, out and about in Musselburgh, asking people, asked to think back. So this gives a description. He's white, 5'8", slim with short light brown hair. When last seen, he was wearing a grey long sleeve jumper with a white t-shirt underneath, dark coloured jeans and black trainers with blue detailing. So appealing for anyone who is in the Musselburgh area, particularly near the old golf course building, to think back. So I'm wondering whether this source that the Scottish Sun had is just making stuff up or is mistaken. Because if he was there at the old golf course, he can't be walking on High Street towards the golf course. That makes zero sense. Unless he walked south down High Street and then walked back again, which makes zero sense. All right, let's see if we can find this murder probe. So this is the Scottish Sun again. Well, this is like from January. Man who went missing 3 weeks ago enjoyed an evening out with a gangster pal before he went missing. So there's the gangster pal. So last seen outside the old golf course. Right, so the high street thing doesn't seem to be true. Cops even issued a picture of the pair taken as part of their appeal, but cut Tower out of the snap. Just hours later, he was seen outside the venue before vanishing. A source said, Danny has been pals with Tower for years and they are still close. They were both at the function together and had their picture taken. It's quite ironic police are relying on a photo in which Tower is in it, given his criminal background. But it shows exactly what Danny was wearing, so the best one. No one has a clue what happened to Danny. Everyone is praying he's found safe and sound. There's no suggestion Tower is involved in Daniel's disappearance in any way. The Hood has been in and out of jail most of his adult life and recently served time for slashing of gangland rival Sean Muggs McGovern in 2016. The revenge attack in Edinburgh city centre came moments before McGovern, 39, was to return to jail from home leave. Tower was jailed for 6 years before being freed last year. The ex-squaddy who served in Iraq was also jailed. So is this... Oh, no, this is still Tower. All right. Served in Iraq, was also jailed in 2009 for his part in a major drugs gang in the capital. It came after cops seized £450,000 of cocaine. Wow. In a police appeal issued about Daniel of Granton, Edinburgh, Chief Inspector Neil Wilson said, we're coming increasingly concerned, completely out of character. Blah, blah, blah. That's the same. Towards High Street from the old golf course. No. After leaving the party, Danny was seen on camera by himself on the high street. It shows a car waiting at traffic lights flashing. Danny is then seen running away. He keeps going in the direction of Musselburgh Links Golf Course. And it's understood he went over a wee fence into the river. So is the Links Golf Course and the old golf course different? Because that could be it. So that's the old golf course. So that's Links Leisure Park. What's that? That's the school ground. Hold on, right. Musselburgh. Links. Oh, it's the same. It's the same place. Do they have a tunnel access? I doubt it. I very much doubt it. Because there's a lot of bridges. So, don't think there's a tunnel. I need someone actually from Musselburgh. Because it's such a small town. I want to find out about him being wanted for murder, though. Stop it. Missing man who vanished, prompting a huge police search. Daniel Fraser was slapped at the do with Hood David Tower. Okay. So that's the same story as the last one. Okay, so 1:37 a.m. outside the old golf course reception building, Stables Pavilion near the Musselburgh Racecourse. Yeah, so that's the area. Emily, member for 27 months. Good to catch you live finally. Yeah, it is. Thank you for being a member for 27 months. It's a long time. All right. Wanted for murder. I think this one's it. Okay. Slane Hood probe. Missing man who vanished a week ago is linked to the investigation into the killing of gangster Mark Webley. Cops are looking for a man linked to their probe into the killing of gangster Mark Webley. David Fraser hasn't been seen or heard from since 7th of January. I mean, is it possible that someone's nabbed him? Gangster Mark Webley died on Hogmanay, so New Year's Eve. Cops have revealed they are using significant resources on the search. His mum Anne Fraser said online, "Can everybody please keep sharing this post? There's still no sightings of Daniel. We appreciate everyone who has already shared. Could anyone who's seen or spoken to her or heard from my son Daniel please get in touch?" Anne's appeal has also been shared by Webley's lotto-winning ex, Jane Park. Okay. Daniel, okay. So Webley died outside the Anchor pub in Edinburgh. 39-year-old man was also wounded, reported missing on 11th of January, last seen in Musselburgh. Daniel's sister Sky is also appealing for his return. Come on, brother, get in touch with someone or let someone see you. We're all worried sick. Let us know you're okay. And pal Zoe Douglas said, "Let's light up Facebook with Daniel's cheeky wee smile. Keep sharing so we can find him. Dan, I was all worried about you. It's only been a few weeks ago. I was standing cooking for you and taking orders from you and Wayne, lol. If you see this, get in touch. It was no use safe." The most recent police appeal, Inspector Craig Sandbach said, "It's unusual for Daniel not to be in touch with anyone. We are concerned about him." Okay. All right, last seen on his own in Goose Green Place area. So we're getting yet another place where he was last seen. How many places was this guy last seen at? We have significant, I'll look that up in a minute. We have significant resources dedicated to this inquiry, and we are urging the public to come forward with any information relating to this whereabouts. If you were in the area at the time, please think back, blah, blah, blah. 2 people have been charged with Webley's murder and attempted murder of another man. Grant Hunter and Emma McVie made no plea at Edinburgh Sheriff Court and were remanded into custody ahead of another hearing at the same court. Jane Park revealed she was absolutely devastated by the loss of her former boyfriend. Webley was jailed in 2005 for 11 years for attempted murder and was later caged for 6 months for trying to extort £1,000 from a man. 2022, he was cleared of a double murder bid after a witness claimed she could not identify him. So this Webley geezer probably got a dose of what he'd been dealing out for years. Not saying that people murdering anybody is good. So it does look like Daniel's off the hook for that murder. And in that other article that I read before, it did say that police weren't treating Daniel's disappearance as suspicious. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. It's just very strange. There's some odd details here. So Goose Green Place. Goose Green Place. Musselburgh. All right, so it's right near the river. So the golf course is there. So if he was last seen here, he's nowhere near High Street, but he is right near the river and right near a fence. So maybe the source, that's where I was before. That's where I was right at the beginning of this stream. And then I thought, oh, I'm on the wrong road. But that's actually in one of these articles where Daniel was last seen. So that's a cul-de-sac. So does that join? See, that's... So where's High Street now? Not showing the map, am I not? Okay. All right, so this is Goose Green Place. So this map, this article, we now know the last sighting of Daniel was seen on his own in the Goose Green Place area of Musselburgh around 1:35. So Goose Green Place is here, where I was right at the beginning of this live stream. And then I thought, oh no, I'm in the wrong place because High Street is somewhere else. So we've got Daniel last seen on High Street running away from a vehicle and traffic lights. We've had, he was last seen at the old golf course reception area. And now, in another article, we've got, he was last seen on Goose Green Place. Which one is it? I mean, I know it's only a small town, and these places are close to each other, but this is pretty important detail, because High Street, there's only one way he could have got to the river. That's right at the beginning of High Street. And then he would have had either to jump over the bridge, or he would have had to go down onto that East Eskdale place and run across the grass and then jump in. But if he was at the old golf course, he's still got a way to go. If he's here, though, then it's right there. But where's the car that flashed the lights at him? Because there's definitely no traffic lights here. It's just a little road. So which one's the truth? It can't be all three. It can't be. Can't be all three. So whoever's giving details to these newspapers, they're giving conflicting stories, and I do not like that. In the first 24, 48 hours, yeah, you might get conflicting stories because, you know, the police don't know the details, and the family's trying to give details, and journalists are writing stuff down, and they're writing stuff down wrong. They're writing in a notebook, and then they misinterpret what someone's told her. I get that, right? So in the first 48 hours, I don't expect anything to be accurate. You know, if you followed the Summer Wells case, you know that she was 4 and she was a different weight. And, you know, in the first 48 hours, you can forgive information, even from the police, as, you know, why it's wrong. Because it's just everybody's trying to gather as much information as they can, and different people are telling them different things. But a month down the line, you would think there would be some kind of consensus as to where this guy was last seen. Temporary traffic lights can be anywhere. Well, it's possible there's temporary traffic lights, but why would there be temporary traffic lights along this little road here? And this is definitely not near the high street. So there is some building work though there. There is some building work there. When was this? Oh, that's August 2022. So that's quite a while ago. Hold on, does that link with High Street? It does. It does. So, oh no. So there's Eskdale East. So there's High Street. I'm learning Musselburgh very quickly. Where's this at? Musselburgh in Scotland. It's near Edinburgh. So here's High Street. Here's Eskdale East, and you can walk all the way down the river along Eskdale East, and you can keep going and keep going along here. No, Eskdale East, you can keep going. You can walk all along the river, past here, and then you're on this Goose Green place soon. And then you're at Goose Green. So Eskdale East becomes Goose Green Avenue, Goose Green whatever, Goose Green Crescent, whatever it is. So a Goose Green place. But if you got spooked all the way up at High Street, all the way up here at High Street, and then he runs all the way down here to Goose Green, that's a fair run. That's a fair run. I don't think that's true. So which is it? Hey, Emily, thank you so much. Gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, thank you. Who's got them? Robert, Wise Angel UK, BGOG, Karen, and Marissa. Welcome, you 5. You get a month's free memberships, courtesy of Emily. Thank you so much, Emily. Hello, Bug Love. Just popped in to say hello. So, I don't know. It is a very strange one. It's a strange one. Very strange. Oh, look at them. They've got triangle-shaped gardens. That's interesting. Like their front yards or backyards. Triangle-shaped. Interesting. A little like fan. That's quite cool. It's in the backyards. So, I don't know. I think that's probably just about as much as I can find out. But I am definitely going to keep a close eye on this story. It's very weird. It's weirder than I thought it was when I first looked at it. I thought, how can someone jump over a fence, having been spooked by headlights, without... How does that source know? That was my problem. Now we found out that he was last seen in 3 different places, which is also a problem. So who's telling this detail to the press? I want to know. And then put that in with his best friend was a gangster, and he was also looked at for a murder of a gangster, like Daniel was looked at for the murder of a gangster, but 2 other people have been arrested. It's very strange. Very interesting. So I am going to keep my eyes on this, but I am going to go now because I'm going to have a little rest, and then I'm going to record tomorrow's Crime Story Sunday, more at Marie. So for those of you who follow Crime Story Sunday, this will be episode 35. It will be on Michelle Walks, as always, tomorrow, Sunday, 8 p.m. UK time. And it's a recorded video, but it will have a live chat. So hopefully I'll see you there. And in the meantime, if YouTube bothers to actually review my Kayla Montgomery video, I'll release it to everyone. But at the moment, only members can see it. So if you're a member, go over and watch my Kayla Montgomery video if you've been following Harmony's case and the trial of Adam Montgomery. But yeah, all right, that's it. So thank you so much. Thanks as always to the mods. Thank you for the donations. Welcome to the new members. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye, guys.